Hey everybody, my name is Troy. Today I have an unboxing video of the Parrot Rolling Spider. This is a part of their new line of mini drones. So what makes this guy so awesome is you get a pair of wheels and you can roll up and down things, walls, ceilings, stuff like that. Connects through Bluetooth, runs off your phone, does flips. Pretty decent range on it for being Bluetooth. A lot of information on the box. However, most of it is in another language, so the only actual part of information is like this, and that's it, because everything else is in another language. So we'll go ahead and open it up here. So up at the top of your box, you have both of your wheels, and these just kind of pop off. You kind of have to be careful with it because you don't want to break the wheels, but they kind of just pop off like that. Like you have to pinch those two tabs together, like these, and then it kind of lifts up, and we'll set those aside. So inside of the box, you have your battery, the drone itself, you get a little crossbar, and a USB cable. You also get some stickers, but my stickers fell out. Anyway, so we'll lift this up here, set that down, set our cable off to the side. So we're going to take the battery out. Battery life about 7 minutes. The box says 6 to 8 minutes, which is pretty much accurate. I've timed it a couple of times in flight, and you get about 7 minutes or so of flight time. They packaged this pretty well, so it's a little tricky to get this off. There we go. So kind of the opposite of taking the wheels off of out of the packaging. So you kind of put it in like that, and then you just kind of push it until it clips like that, and then it spins. So same thing on the other side, just like this. And then if the drone is facing you, this goes on the right side. So facing you, set it down like that, rotates, and then it clips just like that, and then it will roll like that. So battery right here, it's a 550 milliamp. Oh, it's not going to focus. Okay, it's 550 milliamps, 3.7 volts, and then that slides right into the back, just like that. And then when you put the battery in, it clips, and then his eyes light up. So his eyes light up, they turn red, and then it will go yellow when it's actually done like loading or turning on, and then it will go green when it's ready to fly. So I don't know if you saw it change lights there. My camera's not the best. So it connects to your smartphone. It's not going to work with every smartphone. That's the only thing with the Rolling Spider, is it works with like the newest iPhone, like the iPad mini, but it's not going to work with like an iPad 2 or an iPhone 4. You have to have a pretty new device. I think it works with all the Samsung phones, but I'm not 100% sure off the top of my head. I'm going to turn it off here. So you have a little button right here, so we're going to turn it off and its eyes will fade away. For Android devices, it's 4.2 and above, or 4.0 and above, and then for Apple products, it has to be the latest, like 7.23 update or whatever. So if you're not up to date, or if you missed an update, you have to do that, or else you can't even download the app. So you need to take care of that. To take the wheels off, this little part right here at the top, you push it. I can't really see that. Hold on. Okay, so this piece right here, that pushes, I guess, away from the drone, and then you rotate it up, and then that pops off. I think in the advertisement video, it shows a way that it'll. I think in the advertisement video, it shows it like disconnecting automatically. It doesn't disconnect automatically. It does it by actually like taking it off. The propellers are pretty solid. They aren't that flexible compared to other, I would say, toy grade helicopters. They're pretty rigid. They have some flex to them, but they're pretty solid. They're small and they spin fast and they're pretty sharp. So they will cut you if you touch it. So don't touch it. Also, it has a cutout feature. So if you do touch the blades or if you hit a wall, it'll actually cut the power to the drone. So it'll just fall instead of flying out of control that way. Build quality is pretty solid. One thing that I like is the design. A lot of helicopters in this size range are pretty small, but they're like they're like two-dimensional, where they're just kind of flat and you have a little spot for the battery and that's it. Whereas with this one, it feels like 3D. Like it feels like it's, you know, it doesn't disappear when you turn it sideways, if that makes any sense. Like I feel like a lot of little helicopters in this size are, oh, my cat joined the video, are they're like too flat and they just don't look nice. You know, like I think this is a really cool design. Motors spin really fast, but they don't have that much torque. So if you do happen to hit something, it doesn't really damage the wall or anything like that. It's just kind of bounce off, and then the computers will detect that and cut the power. It feels pretty solid. There aren't any points of like cheap plastic or anything like that. It feels like it's built and assembled pretty well. I went over the battery life. I would recommend getting a second battery. They aren't available just yet. They are going to be $20 for an extra battery. For 7 minutes of flight time, yeah, I'd say get another battery so you can have 2 of them charged and then fly them back to back. Now there isn't a way to charge the batteries separately, so you have to use the drone itself. I imagine either aftermarket solutions or Parrot might release a way to, or release like a little charging station or something like that, like they do for the drone 2.0. Sensor right down here at the bottom. So it's an ultrasonic sensor that will detect the ground underneath it, and I think it's 12 feet or 8 feet is the range of this sensor. And then after that, it has a pressure sensor, so it has an altimeter in it, and that will detect the difference in air pressure and then adjust accordingly. This little dot underneath, if you get it just right, that's going to be the downward facing camera. So that will mount onto points underneath the drone and then stabilize it. So the camera will look at the ground and it'll look for specific points and whatever, and it'll track what it's flying over the same way a mouse will track the surface that you're moving it over. So kind of cool that way. I think that covers pretty much everything on the drone. I put a mustache sticker on mine because mustaches are cool, especially that one. I think you can buy separate blades later down the road. I think these will be like $6 or $7, not that expensive. It does flips, and it does flips in a very small space. It kind of lifts itself up and then it goes over. It sounds like a little fly, which is kind of cool. So it kind of buzzes around and does all of that. One thing that you'll notice if you have one, or if you end up purchasing one, is it gets very warm. Just from flying it, the motors heat up quite a bit, and then also for whatever reason this ultrasonic sensor gets really warm. So I'm not really sure what's the story behind that. It just happens. To connect, you have your battery in. You have this power button right here, so you push and hold that, and then the lights turn on. And then kind of what I said earlier, you wait for them to change colors. So they're red right now, and then it'll go yellow and then green. And then you go into setting, or not settings. Yeah, you go into settings, make sure your Bluetooth is turned on, and then you load the Free Flight 3 app, and that kind of goes through everything. So I'll have a separate video for flying the mini drone. This has just been my unboxing video here. Be sure to like and favorite this video, share it with all your friends, and I will see you guys later.